See, Turek, your mind, it is like a gun. And you want to load it up with little itty bitty bullets of knowledge. Message!
What's going on, family? It's your guy, Boro the Lucky Libra. Happy New Year, fake New Year, alright? Y'all know the vibes. We know the New Year starts in Aries season, alright? But we bringing in January 2022 with a new moon right on the 2nd. So I just want to get into these energies with the new moon transiting the houses. This is a real powerful energy, and it's a real significant energy when we're talking about starting 2022, all right? So for the most part, y'all already know the vibes, man. Go ahead and like, share, subscribe. Y'all tap into the website to connect with the Lucky Libra and tap into my Patreon to connect with me on a one-on-one level, okay? I got my little timer. Look, I got my little timer over here. So as I go through the house, I got my little timestamp button, all right? So we're going to get the timestamps in the comments. We're going to get that together going into 2022 as well. And once again, I always appreciate everybody that takes their time to actually put timestamps for the other houses and signs, all right? So let's just break down, you know, the specifics about this new moon, okay? And let's get to transits through the houses. So first of all, new moon in Capricorn. Okay, now we already have a lot of planets in Capricorn, including the new moon. That makes 4 planets in Capricorn. All right, so I'm recording this right now on the first around 4:20 p.m. currently. The moon is hold on, I got my planets over here. Fast forwarded to tomorrow. Let me refresh where we at. So the moon right now is 28 degrees, all right, Sagittarius right now. Okay, 28 degrees Sagittarius, so it will be making its way into Capricorn later this evening. However, you know, when we look at all this Capricorn energy we're dealing with, right, to start the winter solstice, you know, start the winter season heading into 2022, we know once again that Capricorn energy is dealing with refinement, structure, stability, organization, us trying to become grounded, all right? These things also trickle into, because that constellation, you know, resembles them energies, it manifests into the physical reality, dealing with responsibilities, bills, finances, investments, right, career decisions, okay, things dealing with overall stability and security. So that's why during this time of the year, during this you know, late fall going into the winter solstice, we pick up on that natural vibration of, you know, buckling down on the things that help us to feel stable and secure, especially even relationships. Okay, this is why cupping seasons around this time too, because it's not only dealing with the responsibilities we feel like we need to take care of to feel stable and secure, or to build upon what we already stabilized, but also stabilizing a relationship, having that companionship feel secure in some type of shape or form. All right, so that's the overall themes that we embody and experience and navigate through during Capricorn season. Now when we look at the new moon coming into Capricorn, we've already had Venus retrograde stationed in here for a little minute now, all right? You know, we had Pluto been in here and whatnot, and then Mercury's transiting Capricorn, okay? So, you know, we already been going through the motions with Capricorn energy. You should be very aware of your major responsibilities right now. You should be aware of the things that need time. You should be aware of different ways that you could experiment, you know, working efficient, trying to work more efficiently or work more smarter with things at the moment, you know, being under these Capricorn influences. You know, Venus retrograde, it's a retrograde planet in Capricorn, period. It doesn't even matter if it's Venus, you know, so because it's Venus, is going to deal a lot with love and relationships and things correlate to our value system. But because it's a retrograde planet in Capricorn, things dealing with responsibilities, you know, previous projects or career decisions or whatnot, these situations come back and we have to re-navigate how we're going to deal with them this time around, hopefully with more of an evolved perspective from our past experiences. So when we look at us already, you know, going through the motions with this constellation, now that the new moon is here, the new moon is here to nurture all these wounds, nurture all past insecurities about things dealing with Capricorn energy, career, investment, security, finances, stability, security, all right, accomplishments, goals, you know, things that we deem success, all right, we could correlate success towards Capricorn because, excuse me guys, We could correlate Capricorn to success because, you know, we looking at that goat climbing that mountain, you know, trying to get from point A to B, trying to manifest a new milestone, a new accomplishment. We talk about that theme legacy with Capricorn. So these are all the things that we're dealing with right now. So the new moon is here to nurture all of that. The new moon is here to give a new sense of life, a new sense of breath to all of that. All right, we know the moon is dealing with understanding, it's dealing with emotional stability, it's dealing with stabilizing your inner thoughts and feelings and the different ways you process your emotions. So when we have that energy coming here, we know it's time for new opportunities, a new spark for things, right? A new beginning for things. Okay, so us knowing what house Capricorn is in and where that new moon is transiting, that helps us to understand that we're gonna have some support to be able to understand a lot of these situations or experiences we've been going through during Capricorn season period. All right, since Venus been retrograding here, since Mercury been not retrograde, even though it's going retrograde in January. Yeah, Mercury is going retrograde in January, you know, around the 25th. But so we in shadow period right now, pretty much. Yeah, we're pretty much in shadow period. So when we looking at and we're gonna get into that, but when we're looking at this new moon transiting the houses, you know, it helps us to understand that there's gonna be new possibilities, new opportunities in this house, you know, to build upon what's already been experiencing and going on in these areas. All right, guys. So one thing we need to understand, the moon will be trining Uranus. So that's the most significant aspect we have. Okay, we know the new moon's always conjunct the sun. So the new moon is always going to be in the same space with the sun. Once again, it's here to refresh the identity, the awareness, the way that the sun is going to take action. The moon is here to, you know, refurbish that, nurture that, you know, mother's home to make sure, you know, the father's well-being is Gucci to go out the next day and handle business. You feel me? So that's basically how we look at that new moon energy. Okay, real positive energy. So especially in a January that's dealing with a couple of real significant shifts with Saturn placement like energies. Okay, we want to use this up. We want to take advantage of how we could access the new moon to bring more understanding to the area that we're dealing with when we're looking at you know, all these Capricorn placements. So the moon trine Uranus, let me start my timer there. All right, so the moon trine Uranus, we know Uranus deals with power. Uranus wants power, and with gaining power comes with power and control issues, coming off rebellious, right? Having a strong presence. Uranus is impulsive, it's hard to control, period. Okay, so wherever we have Uranus influences, we're gonna see some change, we're gonna see some transformation, we're gonna see situations where we may be trying to seek some power in certain situations. All right, and it's also the fact that it's going to be trining Uranus. This is a harmonious alignment the moon is going to be making with Uranus. So any harmonious alignment the moon is making with something, with another planet, especially a new moon, this is going to be an energy we're going to be able to access to help us use during this new birth period, right? So when we look at Uranus right now, guys, we all have the power to bring some change and transformation due to a new understanding in that area Capricorn is in. You know, Uranus is here to let us know that, you know, it's up to us to make a strong individual confident decision of how we want to build and structure and work upon things in this Capricorn area, and having the belief and faith that things can change through consistent work or a consistent pace of dealing with something a certain way. We know Saturn energy, Capricorn energy is dealing with reality. All right, so trying to influence more of a realistic presence with the way we handle certain situations, specifically the house we got Capricorn in. Okay, so I really love that energy hitting Uranus, but we can't expect, you know, because it's a new moon, we can sometimes new moon energies have to bring a little bit from the past back to help you clear space or to open up a new opportunity, right? Because you may have not dealt with something in the past. So sometimes the new moon could bring that type of influence. So with Uranus coming, a lot of times these things with Uranus in the play, a lot of these situations may be super unexpected. So we want to just make sure we in the present and deal with all situations accordingly. You know, if you attract any person, place, or thing from the past that, you know, probably makes you feel like throws you off your rocker a little bit, you know, it's okay to embrace all situations right now in more of a present, relaxed, cool, calm, and collective state. All right, let answers come to you. Okay, try to be more understanding of why universe chose to bring this situation back for you to pay attention to, or to you to feel and react to around this time, and you just thinking like that will help you understand. It'll provide direction of what to do, where to go, you know, based off of the fact that universe is even making you deal with that around this time. Okay, so everything in life could be viewed as a positive if we're willing to learn and dissect things from a more broad perspective, right? No matter how transformative or catastrophic the moment may have been. So the moon will peak tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time, okay, middle of the day, 12 degrees Capricorn, trine Uranus. 4 planets will be in Capricorn, including asteroid Juno. When we look at that asteroid Juno, it has a strong presence dealing with consistency, longevity. So when you look at Juno in your chart, energy, wherever Juno's at, whatever house sign it's in, or planets it may be making contact with, these are placements or areas where, you know, we really don't compromise here. We see ourselves always connecting or staying active in that house or that area, especially depending on the planet it's next to. So with Juno and all of these within the mix, that's making us, that's putting more gas in the tank for us to feel more motivated to keep some of these new ambitions, new ways of building things, structuring things in motion in a long-term sense. I was saying a minute ago, around this time, we want, in the winter solstice, we want to be more conscious about, you know, making sure we're investing or participating in things that we know we're willing to embrace the ups and downs and the long haul of it. Right now it's long-term planning, all right? There ain't no shortcuts, ain't no trying to you're gonna overwhelm yourself trying to get so much done in a little time. It's about pace, taking things one day at a time, and being really confident and conscious of what, you know, you're willing to work on, put time into for the long haul, or in the long-term sense. All right, so let's get right into it. First house. So I didn't even know I stopped recording, sorry guys. So let's get right into it. First house, Capricorn rising. Okay, Capricorn rising, I call this, I got themes for all of these transits. Capricorn rising, I call this new sense of structure. Okay, now your Capricorn rising, your personality is already based off Saturn attributes, you know, trying to have, you know, a grasp on reality, having things organized and structured in your first house, you know, your personal life, you know, seeking stability in this lifetime period. That's a huge theme of your life path, being a Capricorn rising, right? But also understanding where you need to place restrictions, limitations, and exercise discipline and time management in order to accomplish certain forms of reality that you want in that first house. So with all these planets transiting your first house, Mercury, Venus, retrograde, Pluto, and everything, you know, you're going through a transformation of how to reevaluate things in your personal life, what to put time into and what not, you know, what's good, what bad habits you have personally, you know, what bad habits you have in that first house, Venus being retrograde, or what things that you've been valuing that has a negative value that doesn't reciprocate anything positive for you in your personal life. These are the things that's been on your mind, on your heart, and in your subconscious, you know, since we've got into the winter solstice with these type of energies, you know, especially Mercury heavily analyzing, you know, yourself, your personal ways of doing things right now. So with the new moon coming in here is a time to bring more nurture, understanding, and, you know, more connection to those new ideas or new ways you see yourself structuring or organizing things in your personal life. You know, this may be a time that you feel like there's a lot of things you need to weed out in your personal life to help you open up space to get closer to certain goals and things you want to accomplish in your first house. And you know, Capricorn in the first house is these people be having big goals, you know. Capricorn in the first house be having big goals. So you just want to make sure that you're eliminating, you're using your you know, that Saturn access you naturally have to be wise about what you're putting restrictions on for your first house to start blossoming more, opening up more opportunities for your personal aspirations to thrive right now, for more personal connections to be made with people that's into the things you're personally into right now. But the new moon is here and wants you to react into all these new ways and new forms of structure, new forms of scheduling in that first house to help you get closer to these things. All right, so that's what we got going on, Cap Rising. You know, you want to use that Saturn wisdom that you have. You know what you need to restrict, but you know what responsibilities and what goals need more time. you know that you could overwhelm yourself, you know, trying to do so much in a little short period of time, even though you exceed your expectations when you buckle down and work hard and focus. So, you know, around this time, you know, allow yourself to be in the present. Once again, take things one day at a time. Be the example to the world how to work with time, how to work with pace, all right, while placing restrictions in the places you know you should when it comes to people, places, and things in your personal life. But that new moon is here to revitalize all of that. A new sense of a you. The first house is your personal house, your personality, your personal outlook in the world. So a new moon transiting that first house, it's a new you damn near, all right? I know they say new year, new you, but Capricorn rising is really new you up in this piece. New values and all of that. And you're real motivated to clean up, you know, where it's messy in the first house. So, you know, make sure you stay on that positive shift there. Okay? Second house. Sagittarius risings, all right? I call this reorganized values. The second house deals with the value system, all right? The people, places, and things that we value, the things that we value within ourselves, what we feel like we good at, what we feel like we could use to stabilize ourselves and gain security in this lifetime. We could use it as a seed for a career goal to make some money, all right? Second house, we know we dealing with getting bread, investments, finances, career influences, okay? Self-esteem. So when it comes to, you know, the new moon transiting Capricorn in this house, you know, first of all, the moon loves to be in this house because the moon loves to connect and, you know, fulfill, not fulfill, but give a boost to the self-esteem, you know, and fulfill things dealing with, you know, creative endeavors, things that you feel like you're good at, you're talented with. So the new moon is here to bring understanding to all them ideas. Mercury has been thinking about how it could use its talents, its things that is good about. That it's good at transit in this house. Venus retrograde. Venus been in this house. Venus loved this house. So it should be a whole lot of clarity right now about how you may have not been investing into the things that you're good and talented at, that you could use to build some stability and security, that you know you do better than others. You know, when we look at the second house, the theme of the second house is the I have house. So when you got Venus in here, Venus is here to fulfill that. Venus is here to fulfill, you know, investing and embracing and connecting to the things that feels like it's good at, you know, it's talented at. And Venus is there to play as a support system. So you've been feeling these influences, whether it's conversations, commercials, people you're talking to, people telling, reminding you that you're good at something. With Mercury and Venus retrograde transit in there, yes, the retrograde period is a period for you to reorganize them values before the new moon got here. So the new moon is here to just help you feel it deeper. The new moon is here to inspire you to, you know, put some water, put some vibration, some emotion, you know, into these new goals that you may have when it comes to how you're going to apply a talent that you have, how you're going to apply yourself with something that you're good at. Is one thing acknowledging it, is the second thing applying and exercising, utilizing, you know, one of your creative gifts. But yeah, reorganized values. You're seeing what people, places, and things that you value that you can't be giving time to anymore. You know, you're seeing how people, places, and things right now affect your bread, your career right now. That's definitely something on your mind right now. Like, yo, I gotta cut this person, place, the thing off because they really messing with my bread. I will be working on my side business more. So I'm getting to work late because of this individual. So career, once again, Earth house, career influences here. But you got Venus in this house that's home here. And you got the moon that's exalted here. So they working as a team right now for the beginning of the year for you Sag risings to really get stability and security in check. It's almost like it's making all things that don't support second house values is something that they're trying to force you to not even give that shit any time right now. That second house right now, it's a time where the universe is putting a mirror in your face for you to realize, you know, how you could scale up or, you know, build more upon what you've already been doing business-wise, brand-wise, with your creative gifts, creative ideas, or how you go about stabilizing yourself career, you know. It's showing you how you could scale up or how you could, you know, lay the blueprint down with Capricorn here, initiate new ways to lay it down. You feel me? That sounds like crazy, but you feel me? Like, I'm a Libra, all miles is crazy, but, you know, a new way to lay it down when it comes into the career area. You feel me? I got nasty minds out there. But, but that's what we got going on for my Sag rises right now. So it could be a strong sense of Sag risings feeling like, you know, there's a lot of career motivation going into 2022. I feel it for y'all just going through this reading right now. All right. So that's where we got new moon transit in second house. Third house, Scorpio risings. Scorpio rises in the building. Now we know the third house deals with, you know, local environment. is an air house dealing with relationships, close friends, siblings, relatives, influences and things we've learned, information and knowledge and gained from our local environment, how we became a product of our environment and influenced our communication and the way we think and interact. So I call this, for Scorpio risings, a new sense of structure and rules in your surroundings. You know, when I see a new moon transit in the third house, there's going to be a new sense of something having to be changed in the third house, you know, or something to make you feel more comfortable in your third house and your surroundings. It may be a person that's been real comfortable or you've been around socializing with just cause, spending a lot of time with, that's been in your third house, getting real familiar, you feel me? And you realizing, you know, that's taking away time from things you want to do. You know, you could have a new perspective about your social circle right now, period, with the energy transiting in your third house, with the new moon transiting in your third house. It could be a type of this the type of energy that make you feel like you only want to communicate and connect with people who's trying to work on the things you work on, who think the way you think. Like, you could be feeling real cutthroat and real down, dealing with a strong sense of reality with people right now. Capricorns in the air houses, third house, 7th house, 11th house. So you know, you just want to make sure with this type of alignment, with the new moon transiting here, you're not doing anything impulsively with the way you communicate, because you do have Mercury transiting this house right now. So Mercury can influence, you know, intense communication or influencing you more to get your thoughts out. You know, especially if you got Mercury or Earth, and you got Mercury Earth, or you got Mercury in what's the name, in Scorpio or Pisces. You can be really communicative and talkative right now, kind of say things, you know, retrograde, Venus retrograde, you want to talk too quick. It ain't a Mercury retrograde, but still, you know, you want to be easy, you know, listen a little bit more. But yeah, Scorpio risings, right now, y'all is really in cutoff mode when it comes to, you know, people that you feel like are not supportive or bring anything productive to your familiar surroundings. This, when I see the new moon transit in this house, once again, changes could come to the third house. You may really feel real motivated and inspired to move, and if that's the case, this is a great time to start Capricorn in the third house, planning a blueprint of how you want to restructure, you know, your familiar surroundings. How you want to restructure your familiar surroundings, you know, where you live at, the neighborhood you live in or whatnot, you know, or even the inside presence. You know, the third house, we could correlate. The third house, fourth house have so much similarities, but, you know, obviously they're right next to each other. But a lot of things from the home, which is fourth house energies, trickle into the third house. You know, so surroundings could be the people that you live with, roommates and whatnot. It could be a new sense of wanting to restructure how your surroundings is. So that's real important right now. So you want to make sure you diligently work on that blueprint of how to work on that, or how to create a map out for how you're gonna, you know, be able to manifest that, because the new moon's transiting here. So the new moon's here to nurture all them ideas you done had about Mercury restructuring either your social circle or your familiar surroundings in that third house. It could be new opportunities to move, you know. It could be a situation that could pop up around this time and you realize, and you can make a move that you ain't realized you could make a couple of weeks ago. All right, but overall though, Scorpio risings, you know, it's real important to understand to start this year with this type of energy transiting in your third house, to be real wise about the company you keep, and to, you know, make sure that you're understanding how, you know, relationships, friendships that you've had in the past, you know, noticing the red flags of things that you're not going to condone with people in this new year. Okay. But once again, new moon, new opportunities. So transiting the third house, it could be a new sense of how you're able to use a form of knowledge, a form of information, a form of creativity that you may have picked up in the third house, you know, something that's familiar to you or something you've been doing for a while, as a third house trait, you know, new ways to use these things, new ways to circulate information or knowledge that you have, or an awareness you have about something. Third house does deal with information, knowledge, the way we think, communication. You know, so not only just new opportunities to meet new people to start out the month, but also new ways to circulate things that's dealing with where your mind is at, with what you probably do in your career, or, you know, just new ways to utilize, you know, information. Or you may just now start realizing that you possess a form of information or awareness about something you realize a lot of people want, but you got, and not a lot of people's out here teaching it, or not a lot of people out here circulating or demonstrating examples of this type of thing. The new moon might, you know, start wanting you to give life to that around this time. Okay, so you want to follow your intuition on that, Scorpio risings. Now, fourth house, Libra Ascendants, all right? I call this new structure in the home. Okay, so when we look at the fourth house dealing with the home family environment. Okay, it's dealing with the connection with your parents. It's dealing with privacy, solitude, the most private house in the zodiac. Okay, it's dealing with emotional stability. So when we're looking at the new moon and all these energies transiting the fourth house, all right, when it comes to what's home to you, Libra Ascendants, when it comes to how you deal with the emotions or the things you really care about, you're having way more of a realistic touch on these things. All right, you're not allowing these things to cloud your judgment with the new moon transiting here. So it's almost like you're in a, it ain't no almost. Right now, y'all in the energy where when it comes to people, places, and things that weigh heavy as an emotional burden, you're not allowing yourself to be drained by that or overthink how you should deal with a relationship situation based on person, place, family, person, excuse me, not person, friend, co-worker, intimate partner, sibling. If it's somebody you really care about besides family, it falls into the fourth house. You know, if it's something close to home, something you emotionally invested in, you know, you're having more of a realistic grasp on how to deal with these decisions, and in a more mature way, not just detaching in a, you know, sometimes we detach in a not just saying Libra Ascendants do this. I'm talking about people in general. Sometimes the way we detach is uncalled for. You know, sometimes people really do deserve a conversation or whatever it may be. But Libra Ascendants, with this new moon transiting here, y'all in a place where the intuition is going to be strong as to what changes is needed to make within the home. There's definitely new moon transit in the fourth house is home here, so it's gonna pinpoint things in the home or house that need to be cleansed, cleared for you to feel more at peace within your home environment. But when it comes to people, places, and things you care about, it's just a new sense of reality, how you deal with these people. Also, the fourth house, you know, you got Capricorn in the fourth house, Saturn influence in the fourth house. So a lot of times there may be guards and restrictions you naturally place when it comes to opening up and connecting to people on a more intimate, deeper level. So now you may be in a state where you're feeling more evolved about how you go about, you know, pacing yourself, opening up, making connections, or, you know, learning from the past about how you let a person into your fourth house, or a place or thing, something you're heavily connected to, and you try to control it or whatnot, and it wasn't good for your well-being. You know, the moon could tap you into these type of energies here, because the fourth house is dealing with healing, traumas, insecurities. All this is a subconscious house, water house, you know, childhood wounds. So new moon just taps you deep into, you know, shadow work type energies here. So but definitely new realistic ways, new ways of working on situations in the home and with family and with loved ones. All right, so you want to trust your intuition on what needs to be changed. Once again, that Uranus energy hitting the new moon, so new ways to change up what makes you feel comfortable. Another thing about this new moon energy transit in the fourth house, Libra Ascendants, there may be something that you connect to, a creative endeavor, an environment, you know, a pastime that makes you feel at home, makes you feel real comfortable. It brings you to a state of, you know, a stable emotional well-being or whatnot, you know. This may be a time where, you know, universe is influencing you to put more time into connecting to that, investing some more time into that, you know, making sure you keep that in home. All right, and this is also gonna be influencing y'all to not try to control what you can't control. It may be something you really want to bring into your fourth house. It may be a person you're really trying to work on connecting to bring into your home environment, to open up to. You're trying to get them to open up with their emotions. There's gonna be a time to realize, you know, you gotta learn the love language of others. You gotta understand how other people process their emotions or react to the emotions. You gotta understand the reality of the difference of emotions you may be having, you know. So the fourth house and the moon is a lot of understanding energy of how you deal with things, how you processing certain thoughts about things and certain feelings about things, and the feelings and thoughts of the other people you may be dealing with or who's close to you, that you care about, that you're connected to. Okay, so you want to allow yourself to be open to all the new opportunities to heal, to you know, grow, to bring understanding, and to reach more of a stable place within the home environment and the home within you, your heart. All right, Libra Ascendants. So that's what we got there. Now, fifth house, Virgo Ascendants. All right, I named this one Organizing the Stage and the Camera. organizing the stage and the camera, Virgo Ascendants, going into 2022. Okay, the 5th house deal with creative artistic expression. The 5th house is the stage house where we demonstrate our talents, what we're good at, what we want to be seen for. This 5th house is dealing with fun, entertainment, childlike activity, youthful like vibes, have socializing, interacting. Okay, it's a high environment here. High vibe environment, you know, full of a creative presence. So when you got the new moon, Virgo Ascendants transiting, see, you got Venus retrograde in this house, Mercury transit in this house once again. So, you know, there's a lot of ideas about how you can establish something on a creative level. There's a lot of ideas of how you can demonstrate yourself on the stage. When I say setting up the stage, when I say 5th house, organizing the stage and the camera, right now it could be strong influences of you guys trying to organize and structure or catching ideas and influences on how you could present yourself a new way, demonstrate yourself a new way, whether it's for something with a creative endeavor, how you could put some form of an awareness, something you do on a creative level on the spotlight more in this year in 2022. All right, how you could bring more eyes or bring more attention to something that you're trying to grow in 2022. But especially, you know, whenever we got strong presence in the 5th house, there's going to be a lot of energies, you know, pushing you to learn how to deal with the spotlight, learn how to deal with attention, learn how to deal with the stage, learn how to deal with, you know, experimenting with, you know, the universe and, you know, working rituals by your actions to create more eyes, more light on something that you're creative with, something that you do. So right now, y'all could really just have a strong presence to want to gain that attention and light on something, you know, maybe a business, maybe a brand, maybe a creative endeavor, you know. But the 5th house is dealing with creation, and this once again is a real youthful like energy. So this is a time to play with your imagination, experiment with your imagination and your creativity, you know. Let these things flow and let these things be seen, you know. Set the tone for 2022 with that new moon transit in the 5th house, Virgo ascendants, you know, to, you know, give life to that new project, give life to that creative endeavor, share that with the world. You know, prepare yourself to share that with the world. There's Capricorn influences in this 5th house. So sometimes you could, you know, over practicalize how you're going to deal with a creative endeavor. So that's why you want to just flow right now, give life. You want to do, all right, and just work with things a day at a time when it comes to what you're putting on the stage this year, you know, Virgo Ascendants, to start the year. You know, I believe right now at this time, especially when Mercury transiting here, giving the ideas, helping you analyze and observe things on top of Venus retrograde, reevaluating what parts of your creative essence you truly value. Okay, I think with all of these things in the mix, you know, the moon is really here bringing a more evolved understanding of how you can go about planning and structuring these things. All right. So if there's a lot of ideas about how you want to structure or plan something dealing with a creative endeavor, you want once again, you want to experiment with it. Don't let a really good idea stay an idea, you know, when it's something that you feel like can touch a lot of people, or especially if something that can help a lot of people too. All right, now, so that's Virgo Ascendants. 6th house, Leo Ascendants. Leo Ascendants. All right, I call this setting up a routine for success, Leo Ascendants. All right, the 6th house deal with day-to-day routine, the workplace, scheduling, organization, career influences, mental health, our wellness, diet, regimen. So when we got all these energies, especially Mercury at home, actually exalted in the 6th house right now, so there's a lot of solutions and ideas and answers coming to the Leo Ascendant on what type of routine they need for success. Okay, you know, there's a lot of strong influences dealing with how you guys can go about working on things, what needs to be restricted. See, we dealing with a lot of Saturn energy right now, guys. We dealing with a lot of Capricorn energy as I go through this. So with that being said, with this new moon, new opportunities also blossom from us understanding what we're restricting, what we're cutting off. So Leo Ascendants, when it comes to all this energy trends in your 6th house, there's a lot of clarity right now about what's been in your schedule and routine. Now it's like, all right, this can't be in my schedule routine no more. And all 2021, I said I wanted to go to the gym more. exercise this diet, practice fasting more, or do this for my health, or you know, put this into my schedule, put this yoga thing in my schedule, or read more in my schedule, or you know, all these things that, or work on this time, put this many hours into this much time a week. Like, think about all these things may be recycling with Venus retrograde in this house on top of Mercury in here. So now with the new moon transiting here, it's like a high inspiration to give life to a whole new routine, because you have so much of an evolved perspective brewing and developing right now of how to restructure your 6th house. And it's almost like it's so clear as to what type of results can come out of more of a refined routine and schedule. You exercising more time management, you being more conscious about what you consume, what you put in your body, your mental health, your wellness, what's affecting, you know, your mental health. Okay, these things can seem very vivid at the moment. So the new moon brings that sense of understanding. It brings that sense of nurturing to all those ideas of how to restructure things in your 6th house, especially when it comes to business ideas, career ideas, you know. So you know, I love this energy right now for the Leo ascendants. Okay, it's helping you to, especially with Venus retrograde here, because not only is Mercury bringing the ideas and helping you understand, like it's a little bit more clairvoyant here, understanding how to strategize and work on things, because this is its house. So you know how to clean your house better than somebody else know how to clean your house, right? So that's Mercury knows exactly, like, okay, the trash over here is too much trash over here, but you got to take the trash out here because the trucks come on Tuesday to pick this up instead of it staying out there for a month. And then this, that, and the third, you need to paint these walls. Mercury know how to clean up the 6th house. So it's been all type of ideas on things that you've been people, places, and things, Leo ascendants, that's been in your schedule that you've been having a strong influence of. Yo, this shouldn't be in my schedule. They not helping me with the things that I do want to be working on in my 6th house. So I don't need to be given this time. So those is the restrictions that need to be made. And with that, starting the year off in that energy, a lot could blossom. You gonna have a routine for success. You gonna see the success you want to see in 2022. You know, aligning with that new moon and nurturing all them ideas of what should be restricted and what to work on in a paced way, in a one time in a day type of energy in that 6th house. But schedule routine, that could be heavy influences here. Now, career. This could be a heavy transit for career transition right now. Okay, heavy transit for career transition right now for everybody that got new moons transiting the Earth houses, the 2nd, 6th, and the 10th house. These are super career transition periods right now, because Venus is reevaluating your values within the career department. Mercury is stimulating ideas of how you can use what you already know, information, knowledge, your mental, to help stabilize a new reality. And now the new moon is coming in here trying to nurture all of that, trying to help them, trying to help you to believe, you know, add to your self-esteem that you is capable of bringing that into reality based off taking action here and making restrictions there. All right, so that's what everybody's experiencing right now with these Capricorn energies in one way or another, just in different departments of life. And you know, when I look at my Leo ascendants right now, y'all want to roll with that new inspiration and motivation to have that type of schedule or whatnot, you know, to sustain and maintain, you know, having those restrictions in your schedule, or adding those productive things, adding more time into the things that you want to work on, especially when it comes to a side business or a transition that you're trying to make in career. And if you're seeking transition in career, this is a great time to start setting up a blueprint of how to do that. You know, once again, it's new moon. We got to make our magic with the new moon. All right, so us being pinpointed about what intentions we're setting with the things that we do, that's us working with universe, letting us know, like, yo, I'm working this ritual right now. I'm trying to change my reality. I'm trying to change my lifestyle right now. All right, so I'm about to put my time here, restrict this, put this time here, mold this, and I trust that you're gonna navigate me where I need to go. If there's a better way to do things, more efficient way, or more of a spiritually aligned way for me doing things. And then let's get to the bag. Let's get to the bag. All right. So it's new moon and Cap time. Like let's get it. Let's really get it with this energy to start the year. All right. So Leo ascendants, follow your intuition. Follow your intuition on that. From that point of view, you know. Don't be lackadaisical with the things that you know it's been a minute you've been indulging in this in your routine or schedule, or neglecting this in your routine or schedule. Let's give that some life with the new moon transit in the 6th house. All right, now 8th house. 8th house, Gemini Ascendants, okay? Working your passions into reality. All right, working your passions into reality. Now, this goes a little bit deeper than the theme, but I didn't want to make the theme so complicated. So when we look at the 8th house, you know, once again, everything go deep with the 8th house. So when you look at the 8th house deals with everything that's behind the veil, in the dark, that's hidden, that's secretive, the occult. All right, secrets, deep desires and passions and motives, transformation, sex, you know, they deal with mysticism, which is nonverbal communication. So we got a lot of occult spiritual influences when we look at the 8th house, but what it is, a water house. It is a water house. It is a subconscious house. So we are dealing with the depths of emotional stability here. So when I look at the 8th house, you know, I pick up on insecurities, traumas, wounds that we deal with, you know, that we deal with trying to fixate. Fixed sign Scorpio, that we deal with trying to fixate while we deal with reality, you know, while we deal with our passions and motives, while we deal with the things we want to transform. All of us have some form of trauma or some type of baggage that we're constantly working on or keeping with us, or trying to evolve and transmute, that we pick up from early experiences in life. Nobody is you know, immune to that. You know, we all experience that and go through them travels. So that 8th house is where a lot of that goes. A lot of that depth, okay? A lot of them experiences that were transformative on our emotional well-being or whatnot. So when we look at the new moon transiting the 8th house for my Gemini ascendants, right now I feel like this is a time where you guys are in a space where you feel like, yo, I'm making something out of my reality based off of either this struggle, this pain, or these transformations I didn't experience recently, especially when it comes to any type of transformations that may have been experienced when it comes to career or security or stability. The 8th house, this is a real like transmutation type of energy. See, the new moon don't like this house because the new moon got to deal with demons. They got to deal with dark energies. They got to dive deep, swim in deep murky waters. And, you know, they got to try to heal and nurture these things. But that's the positive side to it. That's what the moon is actually doing. It's trying to bring understanding and nurture to things, traumas, wounds, you know, past shortcomings, to fuel the motivation in a positive sense, to fuel, to ignite, you know, the transmutation process. So you guys want to use that and fuel that towards things that you are passionate about, and how you take a realistic step towards these things, efficient action towards these things, right? Because you got Capricorn in the 8th house. So using your depth, using the things that you've experienced from a transformative state and making that something in reality. So that's how I came up with the theme. The theme, working your passions into reality. All right, just realize I skipped Cancer ascendants, but we're gonna finish Gemini ascendants. I'll get it right in the timestamps. But that's why I named it working your passions into reality. Okay, so you guys want to be in a state where you're allowing yourself to take previous experiences with this new moon trans in the 8th house, acknowledge, you know, where you may have made some mistakes, errors, or acknowledge the things that have you acknowledge that you have embraced, you know, the worst already, shortcomings. You've dealt with transformations. How does that propel you with the reality you want? How do you use more of a wiser reactionary type of sense in order to, you know, build your reality based off the things that, you know, you've experienced? Okay, so the 8th house, you know, this is like a, once again, new moon transit in the water houses, especially the 8th house, a real shadow work type of placement, you know, type of transit. It could, you know, really make you dive into deep reflection here with the moon transit in the 8th house. But I like to, you know, theme this more of a transformation type of energy, you know, using this energy to help you transform, you know, your reality in some type of shape or form. But it comes from acknowledging certain things, that certain insecurities, things that you feel incapable about dealing with, certain past shortcomings. It's gonna pick up on some of that. It's gonna pick up on those waters transiting this house, you know. Every time the moon transits my 8th house, I just naturally feel uncomfortable. I naturally feel a little emotionally funny, like, you feel me? So that could be a strong presence, but that's how we want to use the positive shift of it, because every transit has its positive and negative shift. So that's what we got, Gemini ascendants. Now, Cancer Ascendants. Let's go back to that 7th house. Cancer Ascendants. All right. See, Cancer Ascendants wasn't trying to hit. I know y'all over there like, wow, like they really doing us crazy in Capricorn. You just gonna skip us like that? My bad, Cancer Ascendants. Y'all know I ain't gonna do y'all like that. I know how y'all get. I know how y'all get when y'all want y'all way. All right. That moon in the first house energy is strong. Sometimes it don't take no for an answer. That Cancer energy. So it don't matter where it's at, sun, moon, rising. They don't be taking no for an answer. So that Cancer energy gonna convince you to. They gonna persuade you. All right. But Cancer Ascendants, 7th house. All right. I call this new relationship rules and restrictions. The 7th house deals with how we connect with people on a one-on-one level, all of our one-on-one connections, how we take our personality into the external realm, into the outside world, and balance that with the relationships and connections that we make. You know, huge emphasis on intimate and romantic like relationships, right? So when we look at the new moon transiting here with all the transformations that may already be developing with Mercury transiting here, so thinking about your relationship in different ways, right? Then we got Venus retrograde here, reevaluating your values about your relationship and your love language, even if you're single. All right. And then now we got the new moon transiting here. So the new moon is here to bring understanding as to what true connection is right now within your 7th, helping you understand what true connection is right now in your 7th house, helping you understand how to bring more solutions and understanding to your relationship. If you're single with this type of energy, this may be a state where you feel like you need a, you need a nurture, working on yourself, loving on yourself to feel more emotionally stable when you do manifest, opportunities to connect with somebody, and there's a potential to build with somebody on a deeper, intimate level. Venus is retrograde here. Now, Venus is home in the 7th house, so when Venus is in the 7th house, she's really trying to, have her values fulfilled, connecting to other individuals. But now that is retrograde, a lot of the faults or a lot of the things that we may have portrayed as negative in our previous relationships, in some type of shape or form, these things can recirculate. So as you're dealing with these situations, you want to make sure you're analyzing your love language as much as possible, single or not. All right. But if you are in a relationship, the new moon, you really in a state where you want to create more the most harmonious reality as possible, and it may even seem like it's reality to put a restriction on your relationship right now. So if that's like a strong ass vibe that you got and your intuition been there, the new moon is just gonna make it more intense. If it's like you in a relationship, you don't even really know why you in it no more, that type of situation, this new moon will really push you to want to cut that off. Once again, Saturn, Capricorn, restrict, in order to start a new journey to manifest in a more fruitful relationship. So it could play out that type of way too. Once again, Capricorn energy, we're seeing where to put positive restrictions at. Sometimes that relationship, all relationships, I mean, not all all relationships have expiration dates. In the physical realm at least. So you could die, you could transition in a marriage or with somebody. In this realm, at least, y'all disconnect. That was the expiration date for the person that's still in this realm. So in some type of shape or form, all relationships do have expiration dates, So that's not to influence any impulsive decisions with your relationships, but that's also to be one with your intuition as to how how much that feeling resonates. Once again, if you've been feeling a way about your relationship for a while, you've been observing it in a certain way for a while, especially with Mercury transiting this house and, analyzing relationship from a different perspectives, and then Venus reevaluating its value for its relationship. The moon may feel like, the reality is for you to make this restriction here or, cut this off to bring you opportunities into your 7th house. So, that's just pushing that energy out right there. The new moon is trying to give birth to things, and Capricorn energy deals with tearing things down to build things up at times. It loves to, tear the whole shit down to have more of a stable foundation. So that may be a energy there. But I call it new relationship rules and restrictions also because there may be certain things in your relationships you feel like realistically you're not going to condone, or more realistic ways to deal with communication or how things are set up in your relationship. Let's say you and your partner don't live with each other, but y'all been dating for a while and talk about taking it to the next level. Now it may feel like it's more of a realistic step for you guys to move in with each other or whatnot, or at least communicate, you know, how to go about that, you know. So this type of energy, trying to give new life to new stages in your relationship, but it may also come from dealing with new rules, a new sense of restriction with certain things to improve your relationship. Also, once again, if you're single, when it comes to your love language, you know, reflecting about things that you should restrict probably in your personal life in order to help you be more stable, be a better partner in your future relationship, that's going to be a strong influence here as well, you know. So that's what we got going on, Cancer risings. Now, all right, 8th house, Gemini Ascendants, 9th house, Taurus risings. Taurus risings. Okay, I theme this setting the blueprint for new experiences. Okay. Setting the blueprint for new experiences. So the 9th house deals with higher learning, you know, spiritually inclined house. Experience, it rules experiences, deal with philosophy, knowledge, wisdom, religion, you know, travel, long distance traveling, culture, you know, foreign land, foreign culture, you know. But overall we're dealing with higher learning here. We're dealing with spiritual influences. We're dealing with teaching, the teacher, student teacher energy. So when we have all these planets transiting this 9th house, it could be a lot of emphasis in your life, you know, gearing towards wanting to adventure and experience new things. A lot of reflecting on the spiritual path right here. You know, why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing with my gifts? How to be using my gifts? What are my gifts? You know, a lot of self-discovery like energy brewing with all these planets transiting in the 9th house. Mercury transit here. Mercury get real superstitious in this house too, you know. So Mercury likes to think a lot wherever it's at, but this 9th house dealing with spirituality, you know, philosophy. So Mercury mind just be on everything from a superstitious philosophical point of view, and sometimes it get a little confused about things or it overwhelms itself mentally about certain things. So you want to just relax on that. And then Venus retrograde here is seeing if you've been valuing what it is, if you've been valuing with it being retrograde too. This transit may have been influencing you to reevaluate how much you put time into constructing things to help you experience certain things you want to experience, a lifestyle that you want to experience, you know. The 9th house is dealing with, you know, once again, adventures, you know, moving around, exploration. So there may be certain things that you're working on putting time into, all right, that you're not realizing that actually blocks opportunities from experiencing new things. And now you're realizing how you could use resources, how you could use a new sense of time management, how you set intentions to help create portals and opportunities to experience new things, to possibly travel, to possibly explore and check off some things on your to-do list or your bucket list that you haven't really been that you haven't been active making an effort to do. Okay, so the new moon can really be here to revitalize that, give a new sense to how you may want to work on things, put time into things to open up new experiences. It could be a new sense of, right now it could be something that you're just you know, you're starting to learn about, that could be very fulfilling and exciting to you right now with the new moon transiting in this house. All right, especially with Mercury here. You know, Mercury loves having the mind stimulated. This house already deal with higher learning, so it could be a new inspiration, a new excited transit that you're learning something, and a new inspiration to possibly teach, give off you know, some knowledge about how to do something to others, circulate that in some type of shape or form, especially in a business perspective. Capricorn energy here. All right, now another thing is the 9th house is dealing with experiences and adventures, right? This is where some of the restrictions got to be placed too, though. You know, so with the new moon transit in here, it may be some things that you are experiencing too much of. It may be some situations you are adventuring too much into, you know, and it may be a new set of rules and restrictions as to what you are allowing yourself to give time to experience and do. to soak up knowledge and experience and wisdom about whatever it may be. You know, we can soak up wisdom from all type of different things. Okay, positive and negative situations. If you learn from it, that's the positive side to it. But the impact or the what you was feeling and everything in the moment, that may have felt all negative. But overall, it can be a real self-reflective type of time, you know, for you to understand what to put restrictions on to help, once again, build more of a stable reality and open up opportunities to explore new things. You know, the sense to really want to travel to start this year can be very strong. To move around in some type of shape or form, move out your surroundings in some type of shape or form, could be very strong for you Taurus risings. Okay, so I call it set the blueprint because Capricorn is there. Mercury is transiting here. All right, Venus is retrograde here. So there's a lot of reevaluation as to how you can bring these things into existence, how you can map things out, how you can structure and organize and strategize things, you know, in order to make space. Like this type of energy may just have y'all an energy right now where it's like y'all just want to cut off all people, places, and things that don't support, you know, a lifestyle or a reality you trying to build right now. This may be a right now, this type of transit, y'all may really be in a state of like, I deserve right now. Like, I deserve to experience this. I deserve to experience that. You know, this, that, and the third. Now, how am I in my way? That's a great question to ask with the new moon transit I have. How am I in my way? That's a broad way of looking at things. Can't play victim. Can't take things. You know, can't. You know. You gotta be able to look in the mirror when you got energies transit in the 9th house. You gotta be able to see things from more wiser point of view. Okay, so that's how that new moon plays out here. But the new moon does want to open up new opportunities for you to learn new things, expand your knowledge and wisdom about certain things, especially when it comes to building your stability. It could be a new form. It could be a lot of new form of information, a conversation you can manifest around this time. That's some more of a direction to help navigate you to building more of a reality that you want right now. And last but not least, you know, the 9th house is dealing with knowledge and wisdom. Y'all might just right now start realizing you got a certain form of knowledge. Once again, I think I already said this, like, oh yeah, pretty much circulating your knowledge to help others. You know, you may be inspired to do that, but what I didn't say is that may be something that you can monetize. You can help you build your security and stability. You just not realize you got this knowledge that everybody want. You got an awareness and insight about some shit that everybody want. All right? So that's what we got going on, Taurus risings. Okay, 10th house, Aries risings. All right, I call this new career investments and intentions. Okay, now the 10th house deals with our social status. Oh shit, hold on, let me get my little timestamp on. Okay, so 10th house, Aries rising, new careers and investments. Okay, when we look at the 10th house, excuse me, new career investments and intentions. Okay, when we look at the 10th house is dealing with career influences, your social status, you know, how you're known, how you're broadcasted to the world, your brand, your business, you know, your reputation, popularity status. Okay, so when we look at all these energies transiting here, Mercury and Venus retrograde transiting your 10th house, is a whole bunch of reevaluation and new ideas and new analysis when it comes to, you know, your career path, when it comes to the things you want to be more known for and how to brand yourself in a more strategical way. New ideas to expand in career or expand with what you want to do business wise, career wise. It could be this could be a real time of change right now. Is what, once again, I said, everybody that got the new moon transit in earth houses, they could really be in a state of change right now and transition in career, you know, right now. And it ain't no, once again, it ain't no overnight energy, but the idea, the strategy may be hotline blinging right now though, for what you could start putting time into and invest into for career. So yeah, Mercury, Venus retrograde transit in the 10th house, and you got the new moon coming up in the 10th house. See, the new moon is opposite from home. It don't like this house because this house dealing with construction work, time, and working in career and putting your 10,000 hours in career. The moon's like, damn, there's so much goddamn work, but it puts its heart and its emotion into something for career. So right now it could be a very inspiring, motivating time once again for you to feel like it's time for you to put some more water, more vibration, you know, more energy into that career idea, to transition into career or expand upon what you're doing in career, or invest time into that new strategy, that new idea that you're having a strong intuition for, that to help blow a business up, blow your brand up. get more eyes and awareness on something you want to be known for. You know, new ways to, you know, conduct yourself on the camera. You know, when you look at the 10th house, the 11th house really rules social media, but the 10th house has social media influences on it too, because when we look at social media and the internet, it has a lot to do with branding and social status. So it may be a whole bunch of ideas of how you could utilize social media, different platforms in 2022 to build something this year, okay? And the Venus retrograde, really, if there's Venus retrograde right now transiting the 10th house, it really got you this type of energy, especially with now with the new moon here. Like, see, sometimes I got to get into really reading the transit, because all I do, y'all, is I look at the energy and I write the theme of it based off of what I pick up off of that transit, right? And as I get into elaborating, like, I don't make no other notes than that. As I get into elaborating, I really pick up on I start feeling that shit. So right now, new moon transit in the 10th house, you guys are in a state of truly reevaluating where you stand in career, because right now y'all are in a space where if you're in a career or a position in career where you feel like you're not appreciated, or you feel like you're capable of more, the presence and intuition to transition right now is so strong. The presence for you to invest time into something else, to build another business, or, you know, seek business elsewhere right now, or start placing new investments or intentions into the 10th house, that's very strong right now. And the new moon is trying to push you to give life to these things. The new moon is trying to give life to you, to understand, like, yo, you work here, but you talented as hell at this, or you've been working here so long, you done picked up so much experience, you could start your own motherfucking law firm, you could start your own motherfucking company, you could start your, like, that type of energy. You know, Capricorn is real bossy and authoritative. So the Aries rising, you got that energy naturally resonating in the 10th house. So it feels like there's a sense of authority for you to grasp in this lifetime when it comes to your social status, how you're known, your brand, your business. You want to have that your own, because Aries rising, y'all don't like dealing with authority. Aries energy don't like dealing with authority. So in the 10th house, gaining authority is important here, you know. And Uranus is making contact with the new moon, so yeah, there's a lot of presence for you to make a strong individual change, or invest or plant a new seed when it comes to the 10th house in career, or how you're gonna become known for something, build recognition and notoriety for something that could turn into something that's monetized, or something that could provide security or stability. All right, but definitely strong career transitional type of energies here. All right. You know, the new opportunity during new moons or certain transits, it's in the idea a lot of the time. It ain't just a miracle call, somebody offering you something, or a genie popping up in your room telling you to do this, that. Nah, it really just be the idea. A new way of seeing how to do something. That's why we always want to check self, look at self, see how self could be better. You know, because that'll lead you to thinking. It'll lead you to these thoughts, to these ideas. You'll be on the same frequency to attract these ideas, because you're already on the same page of checking yourself. So that's what we got going on, Aries risings. Strong energy. Now, 11th house, Pisces ascendants. All right, and I call this new experiences in the outside world. All right, so the 11th house deals with, you know, relationships in the outside world. It deals with the public environment. You know, it deals with how you connect and interact in the outside world with others. It deals with it influences and rules communication, relationships, business relationships, associates, networking, social media, okay, technology. So when we have you know, Mercury transiting air house, it could manifest a lot of new situations, connecting to new associates, new individuals, stimulating conversation and communication with others in the outside realm or through social media in some type of shape or form. It could be a real interactive period in your transit in your life when Mercury's transiting the air house. And then it makes the mind gravitate towards things dealing with the outside world and society. You know, it makes you think out the box. Mercury transit in 11th house. Okay, so, and then we got Venus going retrograde. So now you're going through a process where you're reevaluating how you place your value system in the outside world. All right, how you place what you're good at, you know, your creative gifts in the outside world, how you connect that, how you network that and relate that in the outside world, you know. and possibly entertaining ways of utilizing social media, or possibly seeing different ways to utilize, you know, all forms of technology and communication to make more of a presence, or to incorporate your value system or something you're creatively invested into the outside world, you know, associated with others, or become more integrated with a community of like-minded individuals. All right, now with the new moon transit here, that's where the new sense of understanding is coming from. You know, that's what's gonna be nurtured. Pisces risings right now is that this is the type of energy is like, all right, it started in 2022. I'm getting out of my personal bubble and I'm getting more active in these streets. I'm letting people know what I'm creatively dealing with. I'm making more connections. I want to expand my social circle. I want to expand who I'm able to connect to, my resources and contacts. Like that type of energy is like I've been making all these creative products and gifts. I mean, all these creative products and whatnot in my personal life by default. I hope I put the timestamp on Pisces Ascendant. I don't remember hitting it. But it's like I've been doing all these things on my own because I'm just naturally personally creative. But now new moon transit 11th house, I got to see how I can stabilize this in the outside world. I got to see how I make my presence felt in the outside world some more, you know. So it's definitely a great time to, you know, start the year to embrace anything dealing with a new sense of interaction and communication with individuals, experimenting with new ideas on how to connect what you're creatively into with individuals, and putting a price on your shit as well, Pisces Ascendants. Okay, but I could definitely see new experiences. You manifesting new experiences, to getting invited to certain events, places through a mutual friend, to possibly connect to people that are more like-minded about something that you're creatively, personally invested into. You know, you want to embrace collaborative efforts, being around different individuals right now, you know, just to open up opportunities for you to build on certain things. But Venus has been retrograde in this house, so it may be already situations you're dealing with past associates, past business partners, or people that you just associated yourself with, period, that may be coming back to play in the past. It possibly could even be situations where you was working on something that was real positive and on its way to something, and you dropped it. You stopped dealing with these type of people. So that situation can reoccur right now, but you just want to, once again, Capricorn energy, be realistic about participating in anything that you're only going to sustain for the long haul. Okay, something that you truly value. That's why Venus retrograde is putting you in the energy to help you understand what relationships you truly value, and what is it you truly value about yourself that you're going to invest time into connecting into the outside world, being felt and more known in the outside world, something that other people can talk about, communicate about, connect to, learn from you. All right, the 11th house is also, you know, air house, dealing with communication, is dealing with the, more of an intellectual influence. It's more of a spiritual influence in this house. So it could be situations here where, you know, once again, you're circulating some form of influence, or original way of doing something, or some knowledge and wisdom within your community, or within a community, or within your surroundings, or to another group in some type of shape or form. A lot of opportunities can manifest in that type of way. All right. But yeah, Pisces Ascendants, y'all really trying to pop out with this type of energy. That new moon got y'all like, nah, we really outside in 2022. Like, we finna have our presence felt in 2022. Like, no funny shit. You know, I'm gonna attract more people in my tribe this year, because I'm gonna get more active in the outside world. So it's that type of energy. All right. And last but not least, my Aquarius risings. All right, and I call this new dreams, aspirations. All right, new dreams and aspirations, and I got in parentheses daydreaming about the blueprint. All right, so the 12th house, you know, subconscious house, water house. This house deals with our dreams. All right, the influences of our dreams and our aspirations. A heavy influence of you know, how we utilize our imagination, fantasies, creative endeavors, creative influences, you know, strong presence on our intuition, how we connect to the collective consciousness and understand, you know, the subconscious of others. But a huge creative and spiritual influence in the 12th house. You know, this house is the farthest removed from reality, so this is like our dream our dream area within the solar system, you know, the house we connect to, to detach from reality and get more to a closer essence, to once again our imagination, you know, our creativity, our creative essence, our spiritual essence, our intuition, you know, our belief system. So Aqua risings, you know, right now, you know, you got the moon not the moon, you got the Mercury transiting here, you got Venus retrograde transiting here. So it's like, you know, Venus loves to be in the 12th house, so definitely been a lot of positive refinement, reinforcement on the things that, you know, getting that self-esteem boost when it comes to creative endeavors, things you want to experience, you know, things you want to explore in this lifetime. But definitely, you know, the ways that you utilize your imagination, you know, Venus is helping you reevaluate all of that, you know, helping you to understand how to work through insecurities, how to persevere through shortcomings that you have with creative endeavors, and just jump into the experience. If you love it, you know, this is the type of energy right now, Venus retrograde transiting house, that if you really love it, if it's something that you're creatively into, or something that you just, you know, something you really enjoy doing, you know, this is the type of energy that is fulfilling you, pushing you, motivating you to make sure you embrace that, you embody, you know, you embody connecting to that energy to make you feel alive, you know, but also seeing how it can be worked into reality. That's the thing. The 12th house deal with the imagination, it deals with the subconscious. You got Capricorn here, so Aquarius rising, you're always trying to see, you know, you have a strong realistic influence, Saturn-like influence on your imagination a lot of times. So it's like sometimes you could downplay some of your ideas because you feel like, you know, you may not have the resources, or may take too much time, or this, that, and the third, or the way it comes off as a responsibility. But sometimes it's just a sense of experimenting and seeing where things go, you know, giving life to certain things. So with the new moon, it could be a lot of things on your subconscious, a lot of creative endeavors and goals that you may have had that got suppressed because Saturn was being a little too realistic, all right, instead of just free flowing, being more Jupiter and Neptunian, like just experimenting and seeing where things go. You know, right now Venus is bringing those things back and making sure them things don't get out too far out of reach, and the new moon is here to give a life to all of them things. So it's a strong presence, Aquarius risings, on you investing into the creative endeavors, gifts that you have that you truly value, you know. And also you know, Mercury here trying to do its best not to get too confused in the 12th house, because it's real dreamy in here, real spiritual, you know. Mercury like dealing with numbers and words and whatnot, but you know, for the most part, Mercury is also here to help strategize and also, you know, bring a critique from past scenarios that dealt with creative endeavors, or what you're trying to bring out your 12th house into reality. So I believe this is new ways to structure your dreams, new ways to organize your aspirations, you know, new strategies on how to work on your aspirations with this type of energy. You're going to be daydreaming about the blueprint. You know, that's why I put that parentheses. You know, you're naturally gonna, subconsciously, you're gonna probably just be daydreaming, seeing the potential of how much progress could be gained in reality by how much time you put on something that's on your imagination, you know. But it's just about making sure you put the right restrictions as much as possible on them insecurities, on those past shortcomings, on any feelings and thoughts about feeling incapable, and just leaning more so on experimenting and creating. Remember, the 12th house is one of the most creatively inclined houses in the zodiac. So with Mercury here, picking with the mind, you know, influencing you to analyze and observe your creativity, your creative essence, with Venus helping you to reevaluate, you know, what creative essence within you, what in your imagination that you truly value, all right? And now the moon here to give those things life, to nurture that, to bring understanding on how to just, you know, flow with these things, you know, how to just react to putting some life into these things, into these ideas, into the aspirations. You know, a lot of progress could be made at the start of this year in 2022, Aquarius risings, if y'all just allow yourself to experiment with that blueprint that y'all gonna be daydreaming about, how y'all could work on a creative endeavor. All right, you know, the new moon is also transiting this house, so yeah, it may be also real intense with, you know, a deep dive and self-reflection on things dealing with insecurities, things that you really care about, that you're connected to. Once again, as a water house, could be in your fields by default. All right, all the moons transiting the water houses, 4th, 8th, 12th house could naturally be in their fields. All right, because we know the moon like to swim. It like to swim in emotions and vibrations. That's what the moon does. All right, but it wants to bring a nurturing, understanding aspect to it. So you want to have a more positive, you know, broad perspective type of, you know, point of view when you look at anything that was negative or viewed as a shortcoming when it comes to creative endeavors in the past. All right. But could definitely be a strong foundation going into 2022, allowing yourself to apply that blueprint on your dreams, that new map out, you know, that new understanding of how to work on one of your dreams or something in your imagination more efficiently than the ways you may have worked on it previously. All right. So guys, happy new moon, happy 2022. All right, guys, you know, I believe we all are in the world is a crazy place. It's in a very crazy place right now. You know, we got a lot of different shifts taking place in January, let alone for the whole year. So I just want to make sure we're definitely in a healthy space, in a more wiser space, in a more abundant space, in a more clear space, in a more determined, confident space, understanding with the new moon transiting the houses and why we may be feeling the need to react to certain areas and situations in our life, or be picking up heavy thoughts and emotions towards certain areas in our life. All right, so hopefully this resonated with you guys or helped bring some form of clarity to your life circumstances. You already know, man, hit the like, share, or subscrizzle. Yeah, make sure y'all tap into my Patreon where I'm, you know, diving deeper on different aspects in astrology, and make sure to tap into my website to connect with the Lucky Libra on a one-on-one level. All right, until next time, family, peace.